loved one was murdered in a popular Charlotte neighborhood. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police say 38-year-old Taylor Sylver was shot last Thursday morning along North Davidson Street in Charlotte's Noda community.
She walked away. That is the part that will stay with you long after this video ends. She walked away from the fight. She did exactly what every parent, every friend, every sensible person tells you to do. She chose to leave. She turned her back on the argument. She started moving toward her car, and for a few seconds, it looked like she was going to be okay. She never made it. Her name was Taylor Elzida Sylver. She was 38 years old. And if you ask the people who actually knew her, they'll tell you the same thing without missing a beat. Taylor lit up whatever room she walked into. Her cousin, Renee Phillips, remembers growing up with their families glued at the hip. Every summer, every holiday. As they got older, the two of them would make trips up to New York together, keeping that bond alive across state lines. Taylor was that person, the one who made the effort, who showed up, who kept people connected. She had a laugh people remembered. She had an energy that made strangers feel like they'd known her for years. That was Taylor. But life had not been easy on her in the years leading up to May 2026. Both of her parents were gone. Her sister was the only immediate family she had left. And somewhere along the way, the people surrounding Taylor started to change. A family friend, someone close enough to watch it happen in real time, later told investigators and journalists point blank, Taylor had gotten mixed up with the wrong people. I want you to sit with that for a second. Because we all know what that looks like, right? You see someone you love slowly pulling into a different orbit. The crowd shifts, the late nights get later, the calls get shorter, and you think, it's fine, maybe it's just a phase, maybe I'm overreacting. Most people never say anything. And that silence, it costs more than we realize. Here's something I genuinely want you to think about. If someone you care about is drifting right now, and you know, deep down that something is off, this channel exists for moments exactly like this one. Stories like Taylor's are not rare. They happen in every city, every zip code, to people with people who love them. Hit subscribe so you don't have to learn these lessons when it's already too late. The people who need this content most are usually the last ones to find it. And on the night of May 21st, that wrong crowd put Taylor in the exact wrong place with the exact wrong person. Stay with me until the end of this video. Because before we're done, I'm going to share a safety tip that could save your life, or the life of someone you love, in a situation exactly like this one. Welcome to True Crime Footprint, where we unveil the darkest mysteries and the most terrifying true crime tales. Kindly hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new stories. Your support keeps these stories alive. Charlotte, North Carolina, May 21st, 2026. Just past 2 in the morning. No dads alive at that hour, bars still pouring. Music bleeding onto the sidewalks. The kind of night that feels harmless until it isn't. Taylor was there. So was a 26-year-old woman named Adasia Yahal Coles. And between them was something that had been building. A man they both knew. A shared acquaintance who had become the center of a conflict that was about to turn fatal. Right there on the 3200 block of North Davidson Street, the two women got into a physical fight. Open street, people around. And then Taylor made the right call. She stopped, she pulled back. She turned and started walking away toward her parked car. In most situations, that is where the story ends. But here is where it gets really disturbing. Adasia did not let it end. She got into a vehicle and followed Taylor down the street, pulled up right alongside her as she walked, and fired one shot from a handgun directly into Taylor's chest. One shot, 2:10 a.m. A woman who chose to walk away lying on the pavement of North Davidson Street. CMPD and medic responded fast. Taylor was rushed to a nearby hospital. She was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. 38 years old. Gone over an argument about a man neither of them owned. Have you ever been in a heated moment and felt that pull? That voice saying, don't let them get away with it? Most of us talk ourselves down. Some people don't. And the difference between those two outcomes can be the rest of someone's life. If this story is hitting you right now, this channel exists for exactly that reason. Subscribe and share this, because awareness is the first line of defense. But what Adasia did in the minutes immediately after pulling that trigger is what blew this case wide open. And that part of the story is something else entirely. Adasia fled the scene before the sirens were even close. But before she left Charlotte, she made a decision that made no logical sense. She called an acquaintance and admitted to the shooting. She even told them where she left the gun, an apartment on Dahlia Drive in East Charlotte. Maybe panic makes people confess in strange directions. Whatever the reason, That phone call was the first nail in her coffin. Detective Condron of the CMPD Homicide Unit moved fast. A search warrant for the Dahlia Drive apartment was executed. Officers recovered the handgun and matching ammunition, the primary physical evidence of the crime, sitting right where the suspect had left it. Adasia kept moving southwest toward Alabama on Interstate 85. Maybe she thought crossing state lines would slow things down. She was wrong. CMPD's Violent Criminal Apprehension Team activated an interstate pursuit. The Bessemer City Police Department was contacted. The FBI Safe Streets Task Force was pulled in. Mobile phone tracking, license plate recognition, and regional intelligence all running simultaneously. The corridor along I-85 was closing before she even reached Alabama. Less than 24 hours after Taylor was shot, tactical officers located Adasia Coles in Bessemer, Alabama. Taken into custody without incident. Booked under a fugitive warrant, awaiting extradition to Mecklenburg County. First-degree murder charge. 24 hours, that is all it took. If you are watching this and still not subscribed, go to the comments and tell me why. Tell me what it would take. Because I want to understand what kind of story someone needs to hear before they decide content like this belongs in their feed. Drop it below. I'll read everyone. They caught her. The evidence was solid. But the question nobody in law enforcement can answer, the one Taylor's family is left holding, has been sitting at the center of this story since the very first line. She walked away from the fight. So why is she the one who didn't make it home?
And now we begin with new details after this young woman was shot and killed in Noda. Her family says they will never be the same after this act of violence.
The guns have really infiltrated our community, and it has touched our homes now, our family.
Channel 9's Eli Brand spoke to a relative today who says she hopes that her cousin's death, despite the pain, will inspire change.
And that woman we spoke with says she is still heartbroken over her family member's death, but she does hope that something good can come of this.
She was super friendly. She was fun. She had the type of personality where her energy would just light up a room.
That's how Renee Phillips remembers her cousin Taylor Sylver. Sylver was killed in the heart of Noda last Thursday in what another friend told us was a fight over a man. Phillips says that shock is still rocking her family.
It is a shock, and a plethora of things goes through my mind. When does it stop?
Detectives charged 26-year-old Adasia Coles in connection with the killing. She was arrested in Birmingham, Alabama. Phillips says she is thankful law enforcement moved quickly to make an arrest, but it gives them no closure. Her hope is that her cousin's death stops others from committing violence.
The guns have really infiltrated our community, and it has touched our homes now, our family. And we are at a devastating loss. The community is at a loss.
And while the family will never fully heal, they say they'll remember Sylver's smile and her ability to make them feel happiness when she was around.
Vibrant young lady, just fun and loving and friendly.
Case closed. Suspect in custody. First-degree murder charge filed. But Charlotte was left to process something harder than an arrest. At the time of Taylor's death, CMPD records showed 33 homicides in Charlotte in early 2026. 4 of them came directly from arguments. Not robberies, not strangers, arguments. Taylor's cousin Renee Phillips said it plainly. Communities need self-policing and conflict resolution that happens before a gun ever comes out. Because no matter how fast law enforcement moves, they will always be responding after the fact. Taylor's family set up a GoFundMe to cover her funeral expenses. Her celebration of life was held June 1st, 2026, at King's Funeral Home Chapel on Beatties Ford Road. Her sister, her only surviving family, carried that weight alone. I promised you a safety tip. Here it is. If you are ever in a public confrontation that turns physical, especially late at night, do not walk to your car alone. A car is an isolated location. If someone is following you, move toward people. Open businesses anywhere with witnesses. Change direction. Call 911 while moving. And trust your instincts earlier than feels comfortable. Because most people who survive dangerous situations will tell you they felt something was wrong before it escalated. Taylor did everything right. She walked away. She de-escalated. What she could not anticipate was someone getting behind the wheel to continue a fight she had already ended. If this story moved you, don't wait. Subscribe now. The next story on this channel might be the one that helps you spot a warning sign before it becomes a headline. To Taylor's family, her sister, her cousin Renee, everyone who loved her, I am truly sorry. She deserved to make it home that night. Rest easy, Taylor Elzida Sylver. October 26, 1987, May 21, 2026. To everyone who made it to the end, thank you for watching, for your attention, and for joining us on this journey of reflection. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and above all, stay safe. See you on our next video.